in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And as you all are aware that right now the COVID is coming back. So today's topic is COVID returns, impact on LPG trade. The full form of LPG is liquefied petroleum gas, which we commonly say cooking gas. Liquefied petroleum gas, LPG or LP gas, is a flammable mixture of hydrocarbon gases used as fuel in heating appliances, cooking equipments, and vehicles. It is a mixture of 48% propane, 50% butane, and 2% pentane. The LPG was invented by Dr. Walter O. Snelling in 1910. Now, I am just analyzing the three companies which are using the cooking gas in India. Number first is BPCL. The company today known as BPCL started off as a Rangoon Oil and Exploration Company set up to explore the new discoveries of Assam and Burma during the British colonial rule of India. In 1889, during vast industrial development, an important player in the South Asian market was the Burma Oil Company. Though incorporated in Scotland in 1886, the company grew out of the enterprises of the chef Rohit Oil Company, which had been formed in 1871 to refine crude oil produced from primitive hand-dug wells in Upper Burma. In 1928, Asiatic Petroleum Company India started cooperation with Burma Oil Company. Asiatic Petroleum was a joint venture of Royal Dutch, Shell, and Rothschild, formed to address the monopoly of John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil, which also operated in India as Esso. This alliance led to the formation of Burma Shell Oil Storage and Distributing Company of India Limited. Burma Shell began its operation with import and marketing of kerosene. In the mid-1950s, the company began to sell LPG cylinders to homes in India and further expanded its delivery network. It also marketed kerosene, diesel, and petrol in cans in order to reach remote parts of India. In 1951, the Burma Shell began to build a refinery in Trombay, Mahul, Maharashtra, under an agreement with the government of India. In 1976, the company was nationalized under the Act on the Nationalization of Foreign Oil Companies, ESSO in 1974, Burma Shell 1976, and Caltex 1977. On 24th January 1976, the Burma Shell was taken over by the government of India to form Bharat Refineries Limited. On 1st August 1977, it was renamed Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. It was also the first refinery to process newly found indigenous crude Bombay High. In 2003, the government attempted to privatize the company. However, following a petition by the Center for Public Interest Litigation, the Supreme Court restrained the central government from privatizing Hindustan Petroleum and Bharat Petroleum without the approval of Parliament. Parliament enacted the Repealing and Amending Act 2016 in May 2016, which repealed the legislation that had nationalized the company. In 2017, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL, received Maharatna status, putting it in the category of government-owned entities in India with the largest market capitalization and consistently high profits. On 21st November 2019, the government of India approved the privatization of Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL. The government invited bids for the sale of its 52.98% stake in the company on 7th March 2020. Next company which came into the exchange in India was Indian Gas. Indian is a liquefied petroleum gas LPG brand developed and owned by Indian Oil Corporation in India. It is the world's second largest LPG marketer. The brand was conceived in 1964 to bring modern cooking to Indian kitchens. The first Indian LPG connection was released on 22nd October 1965 at Kolkata. Indane serves more than 130 million families through a network of 12,500 distributors. 27% of its customers reside in semi-urban or rural market, and every second LPG cooking gas connection in India is that of Indane. The sales network is backed by 47 Indane area offices. Indane has a network of more than 9,100 distributors across India with presence in more than 6,250 towns. The brand has been awarded the title of Super Brand by Super Brand India. Third company is HPCL. Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. HPCL is an Indian public sector oil and gas company. It is a subsidiary of ONGC with its headquarters in Mumbai, Maharashtra. It has a 25% market share in India among public sector undertakings, PSUs, coupled with a strong marketing infrastructure. Its present company is ONGC, which owns a majority stake in the company. The company is ranked 367th on the Fortune Global 500 list of the world's biggest corporations as of 2016. On 19th July 2017, the Government of India announced the acquisition of Hindustan Petroleum Corporation by Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, that is ONGC. On 1st November 2017, the Union Cabinet approved ONGC for acquiring majority, that is 51.11% stake in HPCL. On 30th January 2018, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation acquired the entire 51.11% stake of Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, thus becoming the promoter of the company. Although ONGC holds 51.1% of the company, HPCL denies to identify it as promoter. The reason given for it is that the majority of board of directors are from Government of India and not ONGC. HPCL was removed from Nifty 50 index in March 2019. On 24th October 2019, the company became a Maharatna PSU. PSU OMCs, IOCL, BPCL and HPCL together have 28.74 crores active LPG customers in the domestic category, which are being served by 24,910 LPG distributors. The LPG coverage of the country estimated on the basis of active domestic connections and estimated households as on 1st January 2021 is around 99.5%. During lockdown, the distributors supply LPG to all the household kitchen. Many of the gas delivery men and distributors and their staff suffered with COVID, and few of them lost their lives. Now, COVID returns. On 9th April 2021, that is yesterday, India registered 1,44,829 new cases of coronavirus, which has taken the country's cumulative tally past 1,32 lakhs cases. 773 lost their life yesterday. Thus, total death due to corona raised to 1,68,467. According to health officials, India has administered 9,43,34,262 vaccine doses across the country as of 9th April 2021. That is till yesterday. And I would like to mention one more thing. India was giving the country, the health department was administering about 42 lakhs vaccine a day. But for last 2 days, the total in last 2 days, only 42 lakhs vaccines were administered. It means on the 50%, now the vaccine has been given, which were earlier almost 42 lakhs. Now, when this is the condition and the COVID is coming in a full swing and people are suffering, because last year the peak was on 16th of September when it has reached about 97, 98,000. But till yesterday, it has almost 1,45,000 cases, and cases are increasing. And the only way we were having to safeguard us is the vaccine. But the earlier people were hesitant to go for vaccination, but now when they started going, that there is a short supply of vaccine, which we have seen in Maharashtra, many parts of the country, Maharashtra, even other places like even UP we have seen, Chhattisgarh we have seen, many places their reports are coming in media that lots of shortage of supply. I mean, today, the Mumbai, there are no vaccination in the private hospital till Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, they are not going to vaccinate because of the short supply of vaccine. So we have to see about the COVID returns impact on LPG trade. Because I would like to mention here one more thing. During the lockdown, the first lockdown, only one person who is coming to the house of each and everyone was the delivery man of the gas agency. No one else, neither the health worker, nor the police, or no one else is going inside the house. Whether the person is suffering or not suffering from corona, at that time nobody was knowing. But the only person was going was the LPG gas delivery man. But unfortunately, he was never been declared as a corona warrior. To discuss all these points, we have a very, very elite, experienced, and the persons who are involved in this trade and those who are a position holder, office bearers in the country, in this trade, in the different association, are our guest panelists today. And I would like to invite my first guest panelist. He is Mr. Chandra Prakash. Mr. Chandra Prakash is the Indian Oil Gas Distributor at Delhi. He is the president of All India LPG Distributors Federation from June 2017. He was the National Secretary of Center for Social Justice from 1995 to 2011. He is also doing organic farming on large scale. Welcome, Mr. Chandra Prakash, on our show. Mr. Chandra Prakash, as you have heard the report which I read, which is very scary. The coronavirus is increasing day by day, and there is no light which we can see in the end of the tunnel as of now. Although central government and state governments and health departments, they are trying their best to curb and to see that this second wave which has started can be curbed as early as possible, because now the hospitals, the medical beds, etc., are not easily available. Even there is a shortage of oxygen and medicines in many parts of the states like Maharashtra. So we would like to know the impact, COVID return impact on LPG trade. Mr. Chandra Prakash, please.
नमस्ते सभी को। लाल गोयल साहब, मैं आपका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूं कि आपने एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक आज के मीडिया कॉन्फ्रेंस में रखा है। और हमारा जो एलपीजी ट्रेड है, जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का नेटवर्क है, आपने ठीक कहा कि लास्ट ईयर जब मार्च में लॉकडाउन लगा, उससे पहले जब ये मीडिया में न्यूज़ आई इधर हमारे अपने सोर्सेज से, तो हम लोगों ने मार्च के शुरू से ही, फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग, हम लोगों ने जो हमारी जो डिलीवरी सप्लाई करने की जो भी फोर्स थी, जो भी सपोर्ट सिस्टम था, उनको हमने मेंटली प्रिपेयर किया। उनको सभी जो सेफ्टी गार्ड्स थे, मास्क, सैनिटाइजर एक्सेट्रा, वो सब हम लोगों ने उनको प्रोवाइड किया, उनको एजुकेट किया, मोटिवेट किया कि भाई आप इस तरह से करोगे तो आप दूसरे अपने कस्टमर्स को भी सेफ रखोगे और खुद भी सेफ रखोगे। तो जो डिलीवरी फोर्स है वो मेंटली अच्छी तरह से प्रिपेयर कर दी थी, तो उनको लॉकडाउन के अंदर कोई बहुत ज्यादा शुरू में दिक्कत नहीं आई। लेकिन अब की दफा जो ये दूसरी लहर जिसको हम बोल रहे हैं, क्योंकि इस बीच में 1 साल के अंदर लोगों ने मीडिया के थ्रू, अखबारों के थ्रू और आप जैसे लोगों के जो चैनल हैं उनके थ्रू, जो सोशल मीडिया पे दूसरे जो चैनल हैं, इनके थ्रू सब लोगों ने इसके बारे में काफी अच्छी खासी एक नॉलेज उन्होंने ग्रहण की है। पिछली दफा इतना भय उन डिलीवरी मैन के अंदर नहीं था, स्टाफ के अंदर नहीं था, जो अब की दफा है, देखने में आया है। क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम बहुत ज्यादा शुरू में अफेक्टेड लोग नहीं हुए, मई जून के बाद थोड़े से हमारे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स भी और डिलीवरी स्टाफ भी थोड़ा थोड़ा अफेक्टेड होना शुरू हुआ था, जबकि सारे सेफ्टी मेजर्स हम लोगों ने अडोप्ट किए थे। एक तो लास्ट ईयर शुरू में कुछ ये व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में, कुछ हमारे नेटवर्क की वजह से, एक दूसरे को मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन की वजह से कि सिलेंडर से वायरस फैल सकता है, जबकि वो गलत था, झूठा था। हम लोगों ने उसको टाइम के हिसाब से डिफ्यूज किया। हाँ, ये जरूर है कि जो खाली सिलेंडर जो कस्टमर्स के घर पे आता है और जो लोग कॉमर्शियल यूज करते हैं सिलेंडर्स का, उनके जो वहां से सिलेंडर आता है वो बड़ी अनहाइजीनिक, जो मेजोरिटी जो कस्टमर्स हैं खास करके कॉमर्शियल, बड़ी अनहाइजीनिक कंडीशन में सिलेंडर को वापस करते हैं, तो ज्यादा खतरा उससे था। तो वो हमने अपने डिलीवरी फोर्स को काफी सावधान किया, जिसकी वजह से बहुत ज्यादा इसमें बचाव हुआ। लेकिन आज की जो सिचुएशन है उसके अंदर से मैं बड़ा साफ तौर पे कहना चाहता हूं कि इसमें जो सबसे ज्यादा सफर किया है इस कोविड के सीजन में, वो सबसे ज्यादा हमारे डिलीवरी मैन को और डिलीवरी स्टाफ को और जो ऑफिस स्टाफ है वो सबसे ज्यादा इसमें सफर हुए हैं। प्लस जो हमारे सीनियर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स थे जो 50+ थे, उनमें से काफी लोग आज हमारे बीच में नहीं हैं, जो कोरोना की चपेट में आए काम करते करते, क्योंकि उन्होंने किसी दिन भी ऐसा नहीं गया जो वो अपने काम धंधे से पीछे हटे हों, और बड़ी निष्ठा भाव से। और सबसे पहली बात मैं आपको बताऊं, बड़ी खूबसूरत जो हमारे स्टेट की चीज रही कि उन लोगों के दिमाग में जब ये सर्विस हम दे रहे थे कोरोना के टाइम पे, कोई कॉमर्शियल एंगल उनके दिमाग में, मन में नहीं था। सिर्फ ये था कि कस्टमर्स को, जो कस्टमर उनसे अटैच हैं, उनको टाइमली सिलेंडर मिले, अच्छी तरह से सेफ सिलेंडर मिले। और बड़े फक्र के साथ मैं बताना चाहता हूं, आपसे शेयर करना चाहता हूं, हम करीब कोई 38-39 साल से मैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हूं। हम लोगों ने कभी ऐसा माहौल नहीं देखा कि मेजोरिटी जो कस्टमर्स थे, डोमेस्टिक कस्टमर्स, मोर देन 80% और 90% के करीब लोगों को विद इन 10 आवर, 10 घंटे में उनकी बुकिंग के अंदर अंदर उनको रिफिल उसके घर पे पहुंचाया। और इसमें कस्टमर्स ने भी काफी कोऑपरेट किया। ये एक इतिहास की बात है। इससे अच्छी बेटर सर्विस डिलीवरी, होम डिलीवरी की पिछले 40 साल में नहीं रही। मैं इसमें जो हमारे प्लांट्स के जो ऑपरेशन स्टाफ था, जो सिलेंडर्स के बोटलिंग प्लांट्स हैं, उनका भी खास करके उसमें बहुत ज्यादा सहयोग उन लोगों का रहा कि वो लोग सुबह 6 बजे ड्यूटी पे जाते थे और रात को 10 बजे तक उन्होंने हम लोगों को सिलेंडर टाइमली सप्लाई किया। उसके साथ जो लॉजिस्टिक सपोर्ट थी, जो ट्रांसपोर्टर्स थे, उनके ड्राइवर्स थे, उनकी जो लेबर थी, उन लोगों ने सबने इसमें बेहतरीन, बड़े अच्छे एक निष्ठा भाव से इसमें काफी काम किया। लेकिन कुछ अब थोड़ा धीरे धीरे आके, जाहिर है जब लोगों ने इतनी अच्छी सेवा दी है तो वो सरकार से भी उम्मीद करते हैं कि उनको कम से कम, कोरोना वॉरियर भी बोला, प्रधानमंत्री साहब जी ने बोला, हमारे पेट्रोलियम मंत्री जी ने बोला, ऑयल कंपनीज के सभी अधिकारियों ने बोला। लेकिन अब उनको थोड़ा मायूसी लगी क्योंकि उनको कोरोना फ्रंट लाइन जो थे वर्कर्स, उनके अंदर उनको नहीं लिया और अभी तक उनको वैक्सीनेशन उपलब्ध नहीं है। एक और मैं आपको जानकारी शेयर करना चाहता हूं कि हमारा जो डिलीवरी फोर्स है, जो सपोर्ट सिस्टम है, उसमें मेजोरिटी जो है वो बिलो 45 एज है। क्योंकि ज्यादा उम्र के आदमी वो सिलेंडर को 30 किलो और 45 किलो का वजन कंधे पे उठा के मल्टी स्टोरी बिल्डिंग्स में पहुंचाना, दूर दराज के एरिया में पैदल जाके देना, वो पॉसिबल नहीं है। तो इसमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा 21 साल और 40 साल की उम्र के ज्यादा लोग हैं, तो वो अभी तक इसमें एलिजिबिलिटी लिस्ट में नहीं आए हैं। तो वो उनमें जरूर मायूसी कि हमको सरकार ने क्यों बुला दिया इस कैटेगरी, जबकि हम तो फ्रंट लाइन है, पहले दिन से थे। जिस दिन से लॉकडाउन हुआ उससे पहले से ही ये लोगों के घरों में जा रहे थे, लोगों को उसके घरों में नहीं जा रहे थे, लोगों को, कस्टमर्स को समझा भी रहे थे उसके बारे में जानकारी भी दे रहे हैं कि आप भी इसको सिलेंडर को सेफ रखो और कैसे इसमें सेफ तरीके से आप रह सकते हो, ताकि खुद भी सेफ रहो, दूसरे को सेफ रखो। तो ये उनके अंदर आज ये मायूसी जरूर है। और इसमें काफी अच्छा, जैसे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो उज्ज्वला के जो कस्टमर्स थे, बेनिफिशियरीज थे, क्योंकि एक माइग्रेटरी लेबर बहुत ज्यादा इधर से उधर गई, काम धंधे उनके बंद हुए, उनके पास परचेजिंग पावर नहीं थी, कोई बैंक नहीं जा पाया, उनके पास पैसा भी नहीं था। तो बहुत अच्छी एक स्कीम लाए कि भाई उनको 3 सिलेंडर मार्च 31 तक फ्री में उनको सिलेंडर दिए जाए, ताकि उनको खाना बनाने में, कुकिंग में कोई दिक्कत ना हो। उसके अंदर भी जब ये अप्रैल 2020 में शुरू हुई, हमारे पूरे नेटवर्क ने, एलपीजी का जो ट्रेड नेटवर्क है, चाहे वो ऑयल कंपनीज के थे, चाहे हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर थे, उन्होंने पूरी लगन से बड़ी मेहनत करके और एक्स्ट्रा स्टाफ भी लिया, क्योंकि उन दिनों प्राइवेट जो आपके ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के जो साधन थे वो भी उपलब्ध नहीं थे, क्योंकि लॉकडाउन भी था। उसके बावजूद भी उन्होंने लोगों के घरों तक फ्री सिलेंडर ज्यादा से ज्यादा कस्टमर जिसने भी लिया उनके घर पे पहुंचाया। और वो जो और करीब कोई 15 करोड़ लोगों को उज्ज्वला के जो सिलेंडर से फ्री हमारे नेटवर्क के थ्रू उनको डिलीवर हुए, और बड़े एक टाइम फ्रेम के अंदर। तो ये बहुत अच्छी एक मंशा से, अच्छे एक मेहनत करके सभी लोगों का, मैं इसमें सभी का वो जाता हूँ, सिर्फ अपना ही नहीं, बट जो सबसे ज्यादा आज की तारीख में भी जो जरूरत है हेल्थ सर्विसेज की, ऑयल कंपनी ने एक बड़ा अच्छा निकाला कि एस ग्रेशिया अनाउंस किया लास्ट ईयर मार्च में, कि अगर कोई कोरोना की वजह से कोई डेथ या कैजुअलिटी होती है तो उसको 5 लाख रुपए तेल कंपनियों की तरफ से एस ग्रेशिया कंपनसेशन मिलेगा। उसके साथ साथ कुछ पूरे स्टाफ का नहीं, कुछ लिमिटेड स्टाफ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस भी कराया था। बट वो हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस बहुत ज़्यादा कामयाब या बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों को उपलब्ध नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि ये एक बड़ा जल्दबाजी में ये एक इंश्योरेंस ली गई थी। तो आज इसकी सबसे ज़्यादा जरूरत है, इसकी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की, हमारे ट्रेड को, हमारे स्टाफ को है, क्योंकि इसके अंदर बहुत से जो फ्रंट लाइन जो स्टाफ था, चाहे वो डिलीवरी मैन था, चाहे ऑफिस का स्टाफ था, बहुत लोग कोरोना में अफेक्टेड हुए। आज भी वो मेंटली थोड़ा डिस्टर्ब हैं, तो उनको कोई हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस का बेनिफिट नहीं मिला। वो जो भी कुछ किया डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स ने अपनी तरफ से उनको किया, जितना मैक्सिमम कर सकते थे, बेस्ट पॉसिबल इलाज किया। रूरल एरिया में भी कुछ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स जो हमारे डिलीवरी स्टाफ थे, उनको काफ़ी इस मामले में परेशानी आई। तो एक तो सरकार से भी और तेल कंपनियों से भी मेरी विनती है कि इसको जल्दी से जल्दी जाके ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मैक्सिमम जो भी लॉजिस्टिक इसमें जो स्टाफ है और जो भी वर्कर्स है, उसको फ्रंट लाइन की कैटेगरी में रख के उनको पूरी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोवाइड करें, और उनका देखें कि फाइनेंशियल लॉस उनको ना हो। क्योंकि इस दौरान हमारे जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स थे, मैक्सिमम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स की जो बिजनेस है वो करीब डोमेस्टिक सेक्टर में 18 से 20% उनका सेल जो उनकी डाउनफॉल आया है, उनके प्रॉफिट भी, उनका ग्रोथ प्रॉफिट कम हुआ है, उसकी वजह से नेट प्रॉफिट कम हुआ है। कमर्शियल की जो सेल्स थी वो काफ़ी डाउन हुई है, और दोबारा से अब ये फिर थोड़ा सेल जब हुई थी, तो अब ये फिर दोबारा जो माहौल हुआ है, इसमें फिर पहले की तरह ये कमर्शियल का जो बिजनेस है फिर जाएगा। और इसमें एक बड़ा दुर्भाग्य रहा हमारा, क्योंकि सिस्टम ने साथ नहीं दिया और तेल कंपनी के अधिकारी उसमें कुछ नहीं कर पाए। एक अनवांटेड और अनऑथराइज लोग इस ट्रेड में, कमर्शियल ट्रेड में घुस गए सिस्टम की कमी की फायदा उठा के, और उसमें कुछ हमारे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स का भी हाथ था, लेकिन मेजोरिटी जो था तेल कंपनियों की जो उनसे जो नजरअंदाजी हुई है, जो पॉलिसी में लूप होल्स थे, उनकी वजह से वो बेनिफिट उठा के अनऑथराइज लोग अनएथिकली, इलीगली स्टेट में घुसे, और जो गलत तरीके से, अनसेफ तरीके से लोगों को सिलेंडर सप्लाई कर रहे हैं। और इसका डर है कि आगे भी जब ये लॉकडाउन की नौबत आए, आज भी कुछ स्टेट में लॉकडाउन जैसी हालत हो रहे हैं, पैदा हुए हैं, कुछ स्टेट में रात का कर्फ्यू है, तो वो अनवांटेड लोग आज भी हैं। तो उस पर सबसे ज्यादा तेल कंपनियों को ध्यान देने की जरूरत है। हम लोग भी कोशिश करेंगे, अगर हमें सपोर्ट नहीं मिली तो हम जो कानून इम्प्लीमेंटेशन अथॉरिटी है, पुलिस है, दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट है, स्टील सप्लाई है, हम उनकी मदद लेंगे। हम नहीं चाहते थे कि इस में हम लोग पुलिस को इन्वॉल्व करें, लेकिन एक मजबूरी की स्टेज पे हम पहुंच गए, तो इसमें हम इसमें पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि पुलिस को भी इसमें इन्वॉल्व करें और अनवांटेड पर्सन्स इस स्टेट में इलीगल तरीके से ना घुसे।
Thank you very much, Mr. Chand Prakash. And Mr. Chand Prakash has given details how the COVID affected the LPG trade. And he has started from the very beginning. He says that the last year when the COVID came, because they have briefed their delivery staff and the other staff, so they were well prepared. And they tried to serve the people from the very beginning, and they succeeded. They says, but this time the fear phobia is more. The reason is that the expectation which the delivery person or even the distributors were having from the oil companies and from the government fulfilled, because till today the LPG delivery men were not put in the category of frontline worker where they are supposed to get the vaccine. And according to Mr. Chand Prakash, the maximum workforce of the delivery section is under 45 because of the heavy nature of the heavy duty of the load of the cylinder. So he says that until unless the delivery persons who are involved in this trade are not being vaccinated, they are having lots of fear. So that is one. Secondly, he says that the government has declared that the 5 lakh compensation in case of a COVID death, although for the frontline workers, although he has not mentioned, but to keep in the straight in the record that the frontline workers, the amount which government has declared was 50 lakhs. But for the LPG delivery man, it was only for 5 lakhs. And he says that with all zeal, with all dedication, the distributors try to supply the gas, because one thing was very clear, which we have seen, because of the lockdown, everybody was at home. They were not eating out, they were not going out. So when they were sitting at home, definitely the cooking was more, they were eating food. And at that time, if the LPG gas cylinder gets over, it is a very, very tough time for the household and especially for the women. And that's why the LPG distributors, with cooperation with the oil companies as well as with the delivery persons, according to Mr. Chand Prakash, fulfilled. And he says that within 10 hours, all the cylinders were used to be delivered, 80 to 90% deliveries, which according to him in last 35, 40 years of his LPG career, he has not seen such type of punctuality. So he says that everything the distributors have done, but they were expecting the government or the oil companies to do something more, which unfortunately was not fulfilled. Now he expects that they should do it. And he has mentioned one very important point is that during the lockdown and during this pandemic, the oil companies discretionally appointed some agents or some business associates for the commercial connections without a proper checklist or without a proper safety norms. And this is creating lots of problem, lots of illegal trade has started, which is not only a security risk, but also defaming the distributors in this trade. So according to Mr. Chand Prakash, this scheme, this particular scheme which has been introduced by the oil companies should be stopped, and for which, according to him, their association is planning to take police action whenever is required. Thank you very much, Mr. Chand Prakash, for giving your opening remarks and explaining the LPG trade, how the LPG distributors and dealers and distributors have doing, along with the help of their staff, office staff, as well as the delivery man, the service to the nation. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Mr. Atul R. Shah. Mr. Shah is the Bharat Gas distributor at Mumbai. He is the executive president, All India Bharat Gas Distributors Association. He is also the national coordinator of All India LPG Distributors Federation. Mr. Shah, you have heard what Mr. Chand Prakash has spoken. Now, we would like to know from you, because you are from Mumbai. Right now, the Mumbai is the place which has become number one as far as the COVID return is concerned. And the conditions are, the indications are, I think today or tomorrow they are calling a all-party meeting for consider to enforce the complete lockdown. So the situation which you have faced the last year can be this year also, or in a day or two, because the condition is going worst. Now, we would like to know from you your views about COVID returns, impact on LPG trade. Mr. Atul Shah, please. Okay, Mr. Atul, Mr. Atul Shah is coming and he's going to give his views. And I can only tell our viewers that we have, as a civil society, we also have some responsibility. We must see, like Mr. Chandra Prakash has mentioned, very important thing, that the cylinder, when we are returning the cylinder, we must also see to it that it should be in hygiene condition. After all, it's a life of the delivery person, and it's not his life only, it's the life of your neighbor, the other persons, because if he is collecting an empty cylinder from your house, which is not in hygiene condition, the infection can go and spread to your entire locality. So for your own safety, for your safety of your family, your children, please see to it that when you are returning the cylinder, it should be wiped off, cleared, and hygiene, if possible, either sanitized it or wipe it properly, or clean it with the soap water, so that the delivery man will not get infection, and if he will not get infection, it will not spread in your locality, in your house. Thank you. Now I think Mr. Shah is there. Mr. Shah, are you there?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes, please go ahead and
once again, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to communicate our views on this platform, which will definitely help us to reach out our views to the concerned authorities, and we may get whatever is missing. As you said, I mean, Mr. Chandra Prakash has very nicely covered every aspect of the problem faced during the first wave and what we are expecting during this second wave. See, I will like to say, during first wave, nobody was prepared how to deal with the situation. But let me acknowledge and applaud for all the channel partners in the chain, right from the company to the transporters, our staff and delivery men, godown keepers and distributors, who have really done a very fantastic job, where the entire world government was asking their citizens to stay home. But our people were on the roads and serving our customers. That was our duty, and we fulfilled it. There is nothing that we did something extraordinary, but yes, we have done, in spite of so much fear, our people have done a good job. And but during first wave, nobody was prepared. Whatever we can gather, standard operating practices, like Mr. Chandra Prakash has said, we have to explain them, educated them, what precautions and care they should take of themselves, so that in turn they will also not get infect other families also, because they were moving families to families. And everybody across the country, whether it's in Mumbai or Delhi or small cities and towns or villages, everybody has gone through a difficult phase and everybody has done excellent job. And I'll tell you, I'm in Worli, Mumbai, which was the peak during the first month, April till May mid. And our staff also ran away. So I myself had to stand there personally and deliver cylinder to customers. That everybody has done their part in some of the different way. This is not trying to say about me, but every distributor in their own way, in their own field, they have faced the problems and they've overcome and continued the supplies, and they have delivered the cylinders the way it was supposed to be done. But here, like, we also face problem. We have lost couple of delivery men, we have lost couple of distributors, and with the very minimum coverage that we got, I mean, company gave us, government gave us so many things, but it was not to our expectations. So, like in our case, what we did, as a Bharat Gas Association, we went ahead and we made a Bharat Kavach, whereby all the distributors of the country are enrolled there. Their staff, delivery men, godown keepers are enrolled there. And even the company officers of the LPG SBU, they have enrolled themselves. So in case of any death of any workforce, we just broadcast the message, and everybody who have enrolled, they contribute, and we have created a separate bank account, separate entity. We have created that, and whereby whatever amount is collected is given to the deceased family members. So the deceased has to, while enrolling, the employee workforce has to register the name of their nominees also. That is how we have done. Anyway, that was one way that we have done to safeguard our thing. Now here, when the second wave comes, so during first wave, everybody acknowledged, like Mr. Chandrakar said, be it the Ministry of Petroleum, be it the oil company, or the local level social media, organizations, they've applauded and appreciated the hard work or the put by our delivery men, our company, our distributors. But that was on all for saying purpose. Today, the way it can be communicated to us, yes, we have acknowledged that in true sense, that should have been, that should reflect while declaring our workforce as a corona warriors and at least get them the vaccination. Now, today is a difficult scenario. Like in case of Maharashtra, the government has declared, the local bodies have declared, in case, everybody who is into essential commodity and giving deliveries and services, they have to get themselves tested every 15 days. Otherwise, they will be fined for 1,000 rupees, and establishment will be penalized for 10,000 rupees. Second incident or instance, the license of the establishment may be cancelled. So in this scenario, if we are not considered LPG warriors and not given the priority for the vaccination, it is difficult that we'll be able to perform and do our role the way we did during the first wave. Because now the norms have changed. If we are asked, now suppose our workforce has to go for the COVID test and there are lines, we are not getting appointment for next 7 days. So now there's so much line. So whether he will, and he's scared to go and get it done. So RT-PCR test, if he has to do, so workforce has to go there. So customer service will suffer. So it is very much expected from the network that at least local governments be instructed by the central government that LPG workforce should be given priority to provide and provided the vaccination. Otherwise, they are the people, as you correctly said, they are the people who are visiting from home to home. And if they carry an infection, it will further escalate the escalated figures that you have said, which is in the second wave. So our request is, though our local association level or local levels, every individual or on our national levels, everybody has already communicated by way of presentation, maybe to the commissioners or to the state ministers or health ministers, or as a national body, we have requested to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas as well to consider us corona warrior and provide us the vaccination and priority. So that should be done immediately. Otherwise, we'll be not able to perform the way we performed during the first wave.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shah, for giving your views. And Mr. Shah has made 2 points, very important point. One is about the Bharat Kutch. He says that as an association, along with the oil company and all the distributors, as well as their workforce, they have made a Bharat Kutch fund in which whenever there is any workforce person due to the COVID dies, his family is provided with the amount which they collect. Once their message flashes on the that group, immediately people donate, and that money goes to them. That is one thing which is mentioned. It's an appreciable thing, because if the government is giving 5 lakhs, that is fine. But if the oil companies or all the distributors association decide to give such type of help, definitely it will help the delivery persons or the workforce who are working day and night. Gas distributor. And second point which he has raised is also very important. He says that now the new rules which have been implemented by the Maharashtra government, and other governments, state governments are also going to do it, is that everyone who are on the essential services, they have to get themselves either vaccinated if they are eligible, or their RT-PCR test. Now, RT-PCR test every 15 days, according to Mr. Shah, is not possible nowadays, because there is a waiting even for the RT-PCR in Mumbai and other places. And he says that in case if the delivery person has to go and wait for in the queue, and so ultimately it is the customer who is going to suffer. So he says they should be given priority for the vaccination. They should be treated as a frontline corona warriors, not that they are allowed to do work. They are under essential services, but they are not been. So Mr. Shah has made an appeal to the government, to the petroleum company, to the state government, as well as to the central government, to consider this and to make all the distributors workforce as a corona warriors, front corona warriors and frontline workers, and see to it should be vaccinated. Thank you very much, Mr. Shah, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she's Miss Asunta Yesaya. Ms. Asunta is the Indian Oil Gas Distributor at Bengaluru. She is the Vice President of All India LPG Distributors Federation. She is also the Vice President of All India Indian Distributor Association of Bengaluru. Ms. Asunta, you have heard what Mr. Chandra Prakash as well as what Mr. Atul Shah has spoken. And both have given complete picture how it has happened last year and what are the expectation which they have learned in the last year, they expect from the government, whether the government has fulfilled or not. So they have given their views. Now we would like to know from you, COVID returns impact on LPG trade. Ms. Asunta Yesaya, please.
Good morning, everybody, especially you, Mr. Lal. And it's nice to be back on this forum. I think we were here earlier, 1 year ago with you, discussing about COVID. So I'm glad and happy that we get another opportunity to talk and discuss our issues. You know, the last year when we discussed this COVID issues, COVID had come and it was in the peak. We were not sure how to handle it, how to go about it. And as we discussed earlier, we had a lot of challenges to go through, which we did very, very effectively. But now, as you said, now this is the second turn of COVID returns. And I think we will go through the similar problems what we faced last year. We will have our labor moving from place to place, shuttling, like yesterday's news in Bangalore was 8 lakh people have left the city. So somewhere, somehow, we might get affected with our delivery men. Some of them would want to go back to the villages to stay there. You know, like Mr. Chandra Prakash said, this time around, there's more fear and kind of a skepticism in the minds of the boys and the men, delivery staff and the office staff, that again, this has happened. Will we survive all this? And do we need to go through all this? If they go back to their hometown, they get 2 meals a day without having to work like this, supply cylinders from morning till evening. So this is an impending issue which all of us in the urban areas and cities will definitely face. But you know, before we discuss this COVID issue impact, let me share with you a few points. When the economy last year was not in the pink of health, it was only LPG which was doing good. And that is because of our delivery men and our office staff. Otherwise, we could not have achieved the kind of sales which the government has achieved last year. In fact, I am told that during the pandemic, we did 27.41 million tons of LPG, which was much earlier than the last year, which was a normal year. and we had a growth of 4.3% than the previous year. Now, I am very happy that LPG did well during the pandemic times, but I'm also unhappy that the way we pushed our delivery men to do that. Now, without the help of the cooperation of these delivery men, we would have never achieved this kind of targets. We would have never, in fact, for the first time, I think from many years, we were #1 among the petroleum products. We did better than petrol and diesel too. So that is the effect of the magical work put in by our delivery staff. And I'm so grateful and thankful to them. I think nobody has done what they have done. Now, even the frontline workers like the doctors and the nurses and all the health workers were working in a controlled environment in a bubble. But whereas our staff did not work in any bubble, they were all around the town, all around the lanes, all around the COVID areas which were sealed and all. Even the areas which were sealed, I am so happy to say, and I'm proud to say, that our delivery men went and supplied the cylinders. So I appreciate that, and I acknowledge with grateful thanks to them for giving us this opportunity to grow like this, even in this COVID times, putting their lives at risk, putting their families' lives at risk. You know, they have set aside everything and done their job. And extremely, extremely grateful. Now for this, I would request the government particularly to please vaccinate all the delivery men, irrespective of their ages. Because it's now that we have come to above 45. 45 and above will get their vaccination. But we have people who are in their 20s, 21, 25, who are on the roads every day. We need them also to be vaccinated. And now with the second impact of COVID, which is more dangerous and more perilous, I think they need to be given this protection immediately. And secondly, you know, we call them LPG warriors, but then do we acknowledge that the fact that we are working them from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the night? It is humanly impossible for anybody to do it. But just to give the customer a cylinder on time, supply to him within the time frame of half a day from the time of his booking, this is happening. Now, this would not be possible without their cooperation, because they also get sick. They are not superhuman beings to do all this at all parts of time. Again, now the thing is, the government, we have a semi-lockdown in Bangalore, night curfew, where we are telling people to stay indoors. But my men, all the men, delivery men in Bangalore are working till 8 o'clock in the night. So we need to look at that also and curb their working hours so that they reach home safely too. Because there are a lot of parameters from which they need to go home to. They may be living far away, they may be living close by. So that needs to be looked after. And one more thing, as I earlier mentioned, you know, we might have a labor issue with exodus of people leaving the city. So if this is going to happen again, we might take a beating there again, where our labor force is concerned. So we will be having a lot of problems, I guess. We hope not, but it will be there. So these are the things. And what I request the oil companies also is to have a helpline for these people. See, now, as we know, the hospitals are full. There is no vaccine. Now, if the oil companies in their main offices in the city have a helpline for these people, so when they are in any trouble, they can contact them and get some aid. We as distributors are not so efficient enough probably to give them their help, but oil company as a corporate body will be able to do so. So what I need is the oil companies is to step in here, ensure vaccination for everybody, ensure security, health security for everybody, and also have a helpline of sorts. Supposing the boy has COVID. Now, just now, Mr. Atul said, the man cannot get himself tested. Now, supposing he approaches, the oil companies have a helpline. He approaches that helpline. They probably tell him where to go, how to go, when to go. And they give him some kind of a priority, because it's impossible for him to wait for a week to get a COVID test done. So this is what I require from them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sundar, for giving your views. And what she has said is that because of now the migration, the people have started going away back to their native places because of the COVID return. and like last time. And she says that as per her, the report of yesterday, till yesterday, about 8 lakhs people have already left Bengaluru. Now, she says if it is going to happen, because many of the delivery persons are from the far away places, and if they go away, then the delivery schedule will be hampered and the people will not get the services. And she says that in spite of that, we are calling them that LPG warrior, but the facilities were not provided, which they were supposed to get it, like the vaccination. She says until they are not vaccinated, how we are sending them, it's a total health risk for them, their families, and even for the society. So she is very particular, and she says the oil company should start a helpline in their corporate offices or the regional offices, where if any of the workforce person is suffered by COVID, immediately the attention to be given, the priority to be given, because right now the hospital beds are not available. And if anything happens, where the delivery person or the workforce person will go, it's a matter of concern. So all these issues are there, which she says that in spite of last year, we have not learned the lessons. And this year, the fear is far more, because the way it is increasing, she says, until it is not taken action by the government immediately, it will impact. Although she also mentioned that the last year, the LPG trade has growth of more than 4% because of the delivery persons, the delivery force, the office persons, and they worked day and night to see to it that the gas should reach in time to all the customers. So when she says, when we are doing such type of services, the delivery persons are doing such type of services, they are also entitled at least for the vaccination, if not other things. Thank you very much, Ms. Sunita Yesaya, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Mr. Jiju Narikalthali. Mr. Jiju is the proprietor of Sri Kish Gas Agencies and a Bharat Gas Distributor, Vatakara, Kerala. He is the General Secretary of All Kerala Bharat Gas Distributors Association, AKBDA. Welcome, Mr. Jiju, on our show. Mr. Jiju, you have heard Mr. Chandra Prakash, Mr. Atul Asha, and Ms. Yasunta. They have given their views about the impact, COVID leaders' impact on LPG trade. Now, we would like to know from you the COVID impact, the COVID returns impact on LPG trade, and especially one more thing which we would like to know, because Kerala has just were in the election thing, and they have voted, they have casted vote on the 6th. So in that category also, how the your delivery persons and your distributors cope up with the work. One side, election is going on, so many rallies and whatnot, and other side, the COVID returns. Mr. Jiju, please.
Thank you, Goyalji, for inviting me for this webinar, and moreover, having this discussion on a very crucial time. See, we in Kerala, we are confident that our delivery boys will be able to cope up with any matters, and they are very sincere to the work, and they will take on any challenges. That is for sure. And we have seen it for the last entire year. But the two problems which we are facing is, one thing is, due to the lockdown and other limitations, most of the commercial establishments are either closed off and they have left, and most of the distributors are having huge outstanding with these commercial establishments, and which have literally drained our capital. And we are finding it difficult to run our establishment, and we have actually borrowed and put in money from outside to run the establishment nowadays. And another pandemic is really going to be very, very, very difficult for us, because most of the establishments are not paying their dues, their last dues. They are just managing to give the payment, at least some payment of the present business. There too, again, they are building up small credits, and due to this current situation, we also have to cooperate with them, because, and that is one aspect which we distributors will be finding difficult. And the second most difficult thing is, see, a handful of 60 employees of Cochin refineries are putting the entire population into ransom by a strike in this pandemic situation. The Vishu, the elections, and the Ramzan is going to start. And for the last 15, 20 days, they have started going on a go slow. And day first day, they completely shut down the work. And the lorry drivers had to protest because they are losing the work. They are not able to work. They don't have their earnings because of these 60 people. The entire LPG delivery boys, they are sitting idle because they don't have cylinders to deliver. The entire population is held up because they are not getting LPG on time. These are the two main factors which are affecting the delivery, affecting in Kerala. And about elections, of course, due to elections, the number of COVID cases have shot up because all the protocols were kept aside. And as you,
I think we have lost you, Mr. Jiju. Your connection is lost, but you have made your points.
Sorry,
yes.
There was a call. Okay. Now, even our ex-chief minister and ex-chief minister, they are COVID positive and they are hospitalized. And yeah, there is huge number of COVID positivity here. And things are going to be more difficult. But I'm sure our delivery boys will be able to take up the challenge. Only thing is we have to get the cylinders from the plant on time. That is one difficulty which we are facing. And another thing, as most of our panelists have said, our delivery boys should be given vaccination on a priority because they are working, they are work on the streets and they are going to every houses and they are vulnerable for the COVID. So these are the 3 points. And my request is to all the employees to keep out of such strikes and other things for the time being, because we have to be together to meet this challenge. And it's not that there is any problem because these are people who are earning for 40,000 plus per month. And we don't know exactly why they are doing all this at this time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jiju. Mr. Jiju has made 3 points. I will take the last point first about the election. He says because of the elections, the cases have gone up. But Mr. Jiju, I would like to inform you, all those states and the union territory where the elections are on, till the time elections are on, the figures were quite less. Now, yes, because now your election was already over, now figure have started going up. Even your chief minister has also been declared positive, COVID positive. So it is only after the election. Till the elections, Corona is not going to come to your state. So that is what is happening today. If now at one state election is still pending, there also the COVID cases are far less than any other states. But what points, 2 points, which important points he has made is, one is about the credit. He says because of the COVID-19, the first phase, there was people were not having money, the business were down. So the establishment could not pay to the gas distributors their dues. And there were lots of credit was there. And now when they started paying, again, this COVID returns. And now they are again not paying the full amount. So there's a lots of financial crunch which the gas distributor is facing today. That is one point which is very, very important. And second point which he says about the strike in Cochin refinery, oil refinery, which he says only handful of 60 people are putting the entire plant, entire distribution system on ransom. And he says that that should be solved immediately and they should come on the work. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult, rather impossible to serve the society or the state without the gas cylinder. They cannot go and serve this thing. And thirdly, again, repeated the same thing, that the vaccination is required so that for the delivery persons or the office staff, so that they can serve the people. Thank you very much, Mr. Jiju, for giving your views. I'm sure because you are moving somewhere, you have given your bites from the. I will be coming back after some time, once my first round will be over. Now I would like to go to my next panelist, and he is Mr. Abhay Sharma. Mr. Abhay Sharma is the head of operations, Mathura Gas Service. Mathura Gas Service is the Indian oil gas distributor at Mathura. Mr. Abhay Sharma, you have heard what Mr. Chandra Prakash, what Mr. Atul Shah, what Ms. Asunta Yesaya, as well as what Mr. Jiju has spoken. And they have given their views. And they all are the office bearers in different capacities in associations, All India associations, or even a state association, and even for World Petroleum Company or for all the companies. Now you are a distributor, young distributor at Mathura. You are seeing the things which either your association is not supporting, oil company, because they are all office association bearers, so they have given their views from the association side also, although they have said that the association is raising these things. But we would like to know from you your views. COVID returns, impact on LPG trade. Mr. Abhay Sharma, please.
First of all, good morning to all the guests and Mr. Goel. Thank you for this opportunity. We meet again 1 year later, and I'm grateful that we have a chance to now look back on the previous discussion as well as the situation now. I'll take a different approach from all my seniors. They are my seniors in the field, and they have covered almost every aspect of the impact on our trade. But I'll take a different approach and say that I would like to answer this question like two different people. One is the businessman. The businessman in me would just like to say that we have lost a lot of money in terms of our commercial credit, and our costs have increased in terms of safeguarding our staff from the infection. A lot of extra additional cost has been added to our establishments to run. We had to increase our infrastructure in the time of the pandemic when the trauma or the need for LPG was in a panic buy. People were ordering LPG, and we had to increase our infrastructure. And we came out with flying colors in terms of our delivery. Our delivery men, like we mentioned earlier, and everybody has mentioned, that they are the crux of our establishment, and without them, nothing is possible. And they have come out with flying colors. And as a business person, I have to first see the satisfaction of the people working in my establishment. That is the first and foremost thing that we have to take care of. And we have mentioned a lot of things about the commercial sales, and everybody has covered the illegal poaching of our customers, the illegal way the trade is now, the people have come in. We have a lot of things that have been covered. But as a human being, my second approach is as a human being, the basic need of survival is more prominent than ever in this pandemic. As things have unfolded and our understanding of COVID-19 has increased, everybody did not know what was happening the last time around. But this time, our understanding of this whole pandemic has increased, and we know that the threat is real. The threat is more than it was in April 2020. Our delivery persons also acknowledge that, and they understand it. At that time, there were not enough cases for the threat to be that real like it is now. While we had started this conference today, I got a call from my office, and we were just told 15 minutes back that we are now in a containment zone. So immediately that fear is now again imbibed in their heads, that now we are in a containment zone, there is a case right next to us. And they have to go through that whole fear psychosis all over again 1 year later, with the threat being more real than earlier. I would also like to take this opportunity to mention something. We all meet a certain number of people in a day. There is an average number of people that we meet in a day. Our delivery people meet more than double the average of people in a day. Then they go and meet the other delivery staff at the gas godowns, who have also met more than double the average of people in a day. They have the potential to be super spreaders if by chance they get the infection, which needs to be acknowledged. I'm not taking away or denying the contribution of other essential workers. Hats off to them that they also did the maximum that they could do. But we have to understand that everybody, like Asunta ma'am nicely pointed out, everybody was in their own zone where they were sitting. Even if it is a shop owner, there was a certain time that you could go and get your essentials. There was a time, there was a hospital that you could go to, and that was in a secure zone. LPG delivery was the only thing that was happening at your doorstep from day one till today. Even today, if you want to go and get your essentials, it is your choice that you go to the shop and you come back and you take all your precautions. But our delivery person is bound to come to your house to deliver, be it in a containment zone or not. So I'll go one step ahead. I'll go one step ahead and not just request the government. We are right now saying that we should request the government that our delivery person should be vaccinated. I would go one step ahead and say it should be mandatory for our delivery person to be vaccinated. That if he is going to a house, if he doesn't have a vaccination certificate, he should not be allowed to deliver. It's like we are sure that in the coming months, there will be a step taken by international authorities that you would require a vaccination of COVID-19 on your passport. And our delivery person should have that mandatory to deliver with their IDs. They should have the vaccination certificate. Otherwise, they shouldn't be allowed. That is what I would like to say, because I can talk like a business person and the effects on trade, but at this point of time, I have to be the human being inside me has to be more active and tell that and say that it is the need of the hour. It should be mandatory, and we should really look into it, because there is a potential now of our delivery person to be a super spreader, and we should not take this lightly. I come from a city. We are a small town. We are not as in a stage as Maharashtra or like ma'am said in Bangalore, where they have thousands of cases every day. But we can reach there very, very soon. We can reach there very soon, and then we will just sit and think and regret the decisions that we could have taken, which we didn't. So I really hope that this comes into action. And our associations, I would like to say that all our associations have been really active and have been really pushing for the vaccination of our delivery persons. In fact, at my end, I even thought that we'll be successful in it, because to a common man, it makes common sense that it should have been done. So I have a list of my delivery staff ready with their Aadhaar numbers, hoping that somebody will ask me for this list and we'll get them vaccinated. But sadly, we have not even been contacted for vaccination. So it's a pity, and we are waiting for the right action to be taken.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sharma, for giving your views. And Mr. Sharma has raised 2 points. First point is that he says that because of the COVID, the expense of the distributors have increased manifold, because they have to fulfill all the SOPs, and for that they have to spend more money. Second point, which he has made it in a very, very forceful manner, is he says the delivery person is a potential super spreader. So why request? It should be mandatory. Even if he is not vaccinated, the delivery man should not be allowed to deliver. And this is what is required today. And he says the way it is increasing, because he is the only person going from home to home. All others are either sitting at the office or at the in a bubble or in the shop, in which they are delivering you the essential services. But what about a delivery man? He is going door to door. And if he catches the COVID, he is going to spread to many, many persons. Not only he, because once he will get the catch hold of it, he is going to give to those houses which he is serving. When he will come back, definitely he will be meeting other delivery persons. So it will be a havoc in case if the government or the oil companies will not understand, or the associations are not understanding. Although he complimented the associations, and he says associations are doing well, they are supporting, they are raising their issues very forcibly. But the only thing is the government should plan it and see to it that all the delivery staff, all the office staff should be vaccinated as early as possible, and given the criteria as we are giving to a frontline worker. Thank you very much, Mr. Abhay Sharma, for giving your views. Now my question goes to Mr. Chand Prakash. Mr. Chand Prakash, as Mr. Abhay Sharma has just mentioned about and praised about your association, all the associations are working. Now, I am just asking one question, then I will say why I asked this question to you. How much contribution your association made towards PM CARES Fund? I am just asking, then I will also explain why I asked this particular question to you. Mr. Chand Prakash, please. Please unmute, please unmute. Mr. Chand Prakash, please unmute. please, yeah.
We have contributed in PM Care Fund about 2.8 crore in the month of April to July, August. And many distributors has contributed or given their fund in CM relief fund, and district authorities, they have also collected on behalf of their state government. But voluntarily, our Honorable Minister has also requested our network in a video conference. So voluntarily, we have all the distributors from all over India. They have contributed 2.8 crore initially, and many distributors directly.
Okay, thank you. Now, why I asked this question? Because yesterday, my program, media conference with Lal Goyal, the topic was COVID returns impact on IPL. As you know, the IPL has started from yesterday. I asked the same questions to them. I said, when IPL, why we are doing this IPL in this particular time, when so much crisis is there, hospital beds are not available, oxygen gas is not available, medicines are not available, vaccines are not available, and we are doing this IPL. What is the logic? The logic they have gave is that we are collecting so much revenue, and though so much money is coming, it is giving to the players and to the supporting staff. My current question is how much, and we are contributing lots. So I asked how much you have, because their collection or the profits are working out to be thousands and thousands of crores. Their revenue right now, their pool is about 4,000 plus crores. So I only said, are you going to pledge all the money, whatsoever you are going to get collecting from this time to the PM Cares Fund? Which they says, no, that is not possible. We have lots of expenditures. Now, when you people who are working day and night, who are serving, and still you are giving to the PM Cares Fund, because after all, PM Care Funds is taking care of all our needs at this crisis. And if those who are doing work day and night, if they are ready to contribute, why the IPL, which is nothing but an entertainment, money minting thing, why they are not contributing drastically or sufficiently so that the shortage of vaccine can be fulfilled? Thank you very much, Mr. Chandprakash. I will be coming back to one more question which you have raised. I just want to some clarification from you. You mentioned some agents and business associates. What my understanding is that the companies have appointed a distributor with done lots of cross-check, their backgrounds, their financial backgrounds, etc., and lots of licenses are required, exclusive license, etc. Now you are mentioning some agents and business associates. Can you just in 1 minute explain what are these agents and business associates, and are they discretionary to be appointed by the chairman of an oil company, or it is be done by the central government?
Before replying to your question, Mr. Goyal, I want to tell you that in our trade, LPG trade, it's a very beauty of this trade is majority of LPG distributors, they are from the background of, they are not from the business background. They are from the war widows, war veterans, freedom fighters, sports person, unemployed graduates, social categories, stool caste, stool tribes, women categories, Grameen distributors. So their basic mentality is not to earn the money. And in crisis, not only in the PM Care Funds, when the Kerala flood was there 2 years back, we have contributed. When Srinagar flooded, Jammu Kashmir, we have contributed. In any national disaster, whether it is Uttarakhand or Odisha or like that, we always in the forefront of in the social activity. And second thing, we are not delivering cylinder only. We are educating our customers about the safety. Yeah. We are our delivery man is basically brand ambassador of LPG, not the entire oil industries. We the most dependent in our trade is our delivery man, mechanics, and office staff. They are in the front. Second, what you have
asked about the agents and business associates.
Yes. Actually,
please be brief because the time is short.
There is a procedure to appointing a distributors. Business associate, there is a policy, there is a selection process, but during last year, it was floated. The rules were floated. They are not. They may be. They are not on the records, but they purchase from the big distributors and the ND distributors and the business associate. They just distribute the cylinders in between. Otherwise, you need a go down. Approved from the PESO, you have the registered. You should be registered in GST, and you have to obtain all the.
So according to you, they have become a middleman, just taking the delivery from the cylinders from the distributor and giving to the consumer.
Second thing, the lower level officers, they have their own targets. They have some pressures of the market sales to increase the sales. So because of that,
okay,
they don't consider that.
But what about the safety norms? It's not compromise the safety?
Total compromise on safety. There are the rules and still exist in 1980s when the commercial connections were started in India. Earlier, LPG was only for the domestic sector. But after 88 or 89, it was slowly, gradually. And after 2004.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chandprakash, for giving clear picture about the agents and businesses. Now, my question goes to Mr. Atul Shah. Mr. Atul Shah, there were an SOP earlier, which we discussed last time. Is there any new SOP for home delivery by the delivery man ensuring their end customers' safety? Any new SOP have come from the oil companies or your association or the government of India, Mr. Atul Shah?
Basically, whatever has been given by the government of India, the same thing follows by the ministry and the oil companies and by us also to safeguard yourself and others, like wearing masks, maintaining social distance, and sanitizing cylinders. See, when it is in the first wave, our distributors had purchased the equipment, disinfecting equipment, and we used to sanitize the cylinders before delivery. And after bringing this delivery, empty cylinders from the customer's place. Even at the plant level, it was started at many places, the cylinders were disinfected. But now that is not there. But as a delivery man, we have instructed them to follow all these things. They have to take care of themselves first so that they can take care of other customers also, because they will be visiting place to place. So, we are providing them hand sanitizers, masks, gloves.
No, but that is fine. But how they are sanitizing the cylinders at the customer's place?
Not at the customer place. Before taking from our place, we have a...
No, that is fine. But as Mr. Chandprakash has mentioned, that very unhygienic conditions, cylinders are coming from customer, especially the commercial establishments. Now, if the infection is coming from there, how your delivery man will be safe and he's not becoming a super spreader as Mr. Abhay Sharma has mentioned?
No, they have to wear gloves. So because they are using gloves, they are bringing back at the collecting point, and there they are in this and they are disinfected.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shah. Ms. Asunta, question to you is, earlier also we discussed, and Mr. Abhay Sharma has raised this point this time. Definitely all the distributors incurred extra cost for all these, what Mr. Atul Shah has mentioned, the SOPs to fulfill, whether it's hand sanitizers or mask or gloves. After all, they have to throw, it's not that every day, morning to evening, the person who is wearing a mask, it has become redundant and you have to give a new mask, the new gloves every day. Now, is there any additional cost component commission has been given as a COVID component to the distributors by all companies or the government? Any incentive or something?
No, there's no incentive being given. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, in the oil sector, we sold more LPG than anything else. But as a distributor, last year, we lost more money than any other year, because all these added expenses. No, we have not been compensated at all for this.
Okay, so nothing has been given to the distributor, and distributor has to spend from his own pocket.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sunta. Now I would like to go back to my. Is he there, Mr. Jiju? Are you there? Please unmute yourself, Mr. Jiju. Mr. Jiju, you are saying that your delivery man has worked and you are working in this COVID time relentlessly, but the reservations which Mr. Shah has raised, there is no beds, the vaccination is a problem, and so many things he has raised. Has any time your association raised this point to the oil company and to the government of India? Like Mr. Abhay Sharma says, we should make it mandatory. So now, when this is the views of a distributor, now when young distributor, now you being an association party holder, the position holder, have you raised this point that why not these all the things which we are doing is we must get all these facilities on priority basis. We must get the admission, because if the beds are not available, if anything happens with the delivery man, where the delivery man will go, they must get the vaccination on time, etc. Mr. Jiju, please. No, we can't hear you. Mr. Jiju, your voice is not coming. No, I think, yes, Mr. Jiju, yes, please. No, sorry, Mr. Jiju, no, some problem is there. Anyway, I will go, I will take this question either to Mr. Chand Prakash, if you want to give the reply in a brief only, because this is a very important question. What your association has done, see, what you are raising now, fine, but have you sent this type in writing and a proper memorandum to the minister, petroleum minister, to the oil companies, etc., or just is a talk among yourself in the webinars?
No, time to time, immediately we take action, we take the issues, whatever feedback we got from the distributors. And for your information, in the first week of December, when central government was preparing the vaccination policies, on the 5th December, we have written letter to the Prime Minister, to the Petroleum Minister, to the concerned Health Minister, Central Health Minister, to the State Chief Ministers, to all concerned departments, including oil company officials and Ministry of Petroleum and Health Secretary, etc. Again, we sent the reminders through social media, through Twitter, and everybody, and
no response from their side.
No response from, because they have their own policy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jiju. Can you? No, we can't hear you right now. Also, I think some problem. No problem, Mr. Abhay Sharma. My last question to you is: what are your suggestions? You being a young among all the panelists here, you are seeing the condition today. You are, and you have appeared in my media conference quite frequently, and you know what is the condition. I just want to know from you, what are your suggestions to the government and advice to public?
The major suggestion, as I previously mentioned as well in my talk, that we have to make vaccination mandatory, not only for LPG delivery men, but also for all registered essential services, irrespective of the age of the person. Because if we don't, then we are calling for trouble on ourselves. Because our understanding has increased now, and we know the threat, and we know everything, how COVID works, how much fear there is in the general public, which has reduced drastically. So we need to get that fear back in the public. They need to understand the risk, because people say that the percentage of life lost in COVID is less, but why lose even one life that we could have saved? Okay. And people need to understand the value of life in our country, and we need to take that seriously.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sharma. So today you have seen the impact on LPG trade and the views from those who are in this trade and who are the office bearers of the association. And they are very clearly says that they are doing their best during the pandemic time, even in this time also when the COVID is returning back. But only thing is they are not getting any support which they are supposed to get from the government or the oil companies, as well as the main the issue which they have raised is about the vaccination. Yes, because if the delivery men are not going to be vaccinated, who is coming to visit all our houses, everybody's houses, he is the most potential super spreader, as Mr. Abhay Sharma has also mentioned. The government, I'm sure, should think over it and revisit their policy and immediately order for giving the top priority for the delivery persons, especially for the vaccination. And my appeal to all the civil society, after all, delivery persons are also human beings. If they are coming to our place, please treat them humanly. See to it, if what Mr. Chand Prakash has mentioned and other panelists has mentioned, please see to it that the cylinder which you are returning back should be in hygiene condition. Because if you will not do it, the other will also not do it. And if they will not do it, tomorrow the virus can come to your house, then who is going to be responsible? We only. So it is our responsibility. Thank you very much for watching our show. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, Newsgaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to enlighten you with a new topic every day. And tomorrow's our topic, media conference with Lal Goyal, is at 10:30 a.m. is COVID returns, challenges and solutions. And we have a panelist consist of doctors. My panelists are Dr. Ramen Goyal, MS, FRCS, former president of Indian Association of Gastrointestinal Endosurgeons, IAGES, and director, Center of Excellence in Bariatric and Metabolic Surgery, Wokhard Hospital, Mumbai. Dr. Nishi Singh, adjunct professor of virology and infectious disease at the College of Medicine, Khalifa University, Abu Dhabi, and consultant virologist at Conceive Gynecology and Fertility Hospital, UAE. Professor Dr. Amita Jain, MD, PhD, FRC, PET, FAMS, professor and head department of microbiology, King George Medical University, KGMU, Lucknow. Dr. Rachel Daniel, MD Medicine, DNB Medicine, DNB Cardiology, Chief Interventional Cardiologist, NS Memorial Institute of Medical Sciences, Kollam, Kerala. So please tune in tomorrow for medical media conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Mr. Chand Prakash. Thank you very much, Mr. Atul Shah. Thank you very much, Ms. Asunta. Thank you very much, Mr. Jiju. And thank you very much, Mr. Abhay Sharma, for joining us. And thank you all the viewers for watching today's enlightened program. And I'm sure that today's program will give some food of thought to all our viewers and treat our delivery men and guest distributor humanly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.